until they searched the whole building, the elevator, the roof, and the basement, until the hours started to tick by, and darkness fell like a rough blanket over their heads as they roamed the alleys outside. And then the expression on her mother's face moved from concern to alarm to resignation to acceptance, ticking through the emotions quick as the minute hand of a clock. "Tess, it's freezing. I need to get you inside. I'm sure Nine has found a place to hide." "No," Tess had said. "She'll find us. Wherever she is, I know it. We just have to keep calling." Her mother touched Tess's shoulder, must have felt the deep shiver that started at Tess's knees and vibrated all the way up to Tess's head. But her mother relented, stayed out with Tess another half-hour anyway, shouting over the sounds of cars and rollers and madly barking dogs until both their voices went dry and hoarse. And even after she forced Tess inside to warm up, she let Tess roam the building, let her search the basement and the elevator and the halls and the roof one more time. When Tess got back to her apartment, she found her father cooking dinner, Theo doing homework, and her mother folding laundry in front of the TV. Then it was the rage rather than the radiators that warmed her. "What are you doing?" she'd shouted at them. They all stopped, staring. "She's out there, and you're just making stew and folding underwear as if nothing's wrong." "Tess," her mother began, but Tess roared, "No!" as loud as she could. With renewed determination, she turned and ran back into the hallway, calling Nine's name. She knocked on every apartment door, explored every nook and cranny of the building she could think of, including every inch of Grandpa Ben's place, while Grandpa and Lance watched her, both of them wringing their hands. When she got down to the lobby, she pressed her face to the glass, tears turning to frost on her cheeks, stinging there. Through the glass, she could still hear the incessant barking and whining of the dogs. Why? Why did they keep barking? What were they barking at? What were they barking at? She burst from the building, followed the sound of the barks. It led her down the alley along one side, where rows of now empty cans and dumpsters squatted in the darkness. A lone man pulled the leashes of a half-dozen dogs, who were frantically sniffing and barking at one of the dumpsters. "Will you guys cut it out? Leave it!" Tess ran up to the man. "What are they barking at?" "What else? Dog pee, table scraps, garbage, I don't know. What do you expect from animals with brains the size of baseballs?" He tugged at the leashes again. "I said leave it!" The dogs, who ranged in size from teacup to pony, were trying to stick their heads under the dumpster. Tess pushed the pony aside and peered underneath. "Nine?" she said. The answer was a frighteningly weak meow. "Oh, Nine." Tess reached under the dumpster and discovered that Nine was wrapped up in some kind of old net, volleyball or badminton or something. The more the kitten had struggled against it, the more it must have gotten tangled around her paws and her neck. The tighter it must have bound her. When Tess ripped off the net and pulled her out from underneath the dumpster, tucked the cat inside her coat, the cat was so cold, so cold. Far more cold than a living thing should ever be and still live. She ignored the dog walker and his dogs, who yelled and yipped at her back. She ran all the way from the alley to the lobby, from the lobby to the elevator, from the elevator to her apartment, could barely speak after she threw open the door, showed her parents what was stowed in her coat. The entire family packed into a cab and raced to the nearest emergency vet. The vet said that if Tess hadn't found Nine when she did, the cat could have died in the freezing cold. "You saved her life," the vet said. "Maybe one day she'll return the favor." Traffic, anxiety attacks, nightmares, Tess had said. She already has. Who has what? Theo and Jaime, both of them huddled around the puzzle, stared at her from their perch on Aunt Esther's couch. "Nothing," Tess said. She got up and went to the window. She nudged the thin curtains aside. On the street, groups of women pushed strollers, kids ran for the nearest park or basketball court. Men